additions of voting districts. So that is what I recommended to the solicitor, and that seems the way he wanted to pursue it.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Then I'll make a motion to approve the advertising as presented.
Second the motion?
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the request to place the advertisement, giving information about the pending election. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Michael?
Jamie, I wasn't sure if the HAVA grant had to be a commissioner's function or a board function for the intent for those funds.
HAVA is commissioner.
Okay, so I didn't know.
So we're finished with
Why?
the election.
Do you mind if I just give out a couple of dates while we're still the board?
No, that's
and then?
fine.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to remind everybody that the last day to apply for a civilian absentee ballot is 5 p.m. on Tuesday, October 30th. And the last day for those ballots to be received in my office is 5 p.m. on Friday, November 2nd. And then I did want to let everybody know that at this point I did do a rough number, and we are running way ahead in absentee ballot requests from a comparative election in 2014. We had roughly about 1,000 absentee ballot requests in 2014, and we are currently at 1,359 as of today, with 2 weeks to still go.
Thank
So,
you.
yep.
All right, with that said, I'll look for a motion to adjourn the Board of Elections.
Second?
I have a motion and a second to adjourn the Board of Elections. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're adjourned, and we'll resume as the Board of Commissioners.
Okay. We did receive a letter dated October 10th with the from the Department of State regarding the let me get the official name here, the 2018 HAVA Election Security Grant that would be available to improve our election system. So basically at this point they had given us a number that would be available to Lebanon County, and with that there is a notice of intent to request those HAVA grant funds that must be signed by a member of the board that basically lets the Department of State know that we do want the funds that are made available for Lebanon County. And the amount for Lebanon County that we are entitled to is $141,491.81.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to accept those funds. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
And Jamie has that.
I have a question.
Okay.
Somebody told me, I wasn't here all summer. Somebody told me we're getting new voting machines in the county. Is that true?
Yeah, the governor has issued a directive that by the end of 2019, we have to be under contract to have a new voting system,
Okay.
paper-based, verified.
And those
system.
new voting machines are different from the ones we have now.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, the new ones, when I go in to vote, will I get a receipt?
No,
Why?
because that, you cannot, by Pennsylvania law, the way it's written now, they cannot give somebody a receipt showing how that they voted, because you could technically be subject to bribery or whatever by giving somebody that receipt showing how you voted. They could give you money for that fact. It's actually covered in the election code.
So I have no proof, I never did have a proof that I voted. Never. In other words, I go to the grocery store, I buy $20 worth of groceries, I get a receipt, I can prove that. But if I'm in a conversation with somebody, and I just was the other day, this man said he voted for Mrs. Clinton. I said, prove it. He said he can, and he can.
Right. Everybody's vote is private, and so if they want to share that on their own terms, they can do that, but I can't know how you voted, the board cannot know how you voted. That's all covered in the election code.
Then he asked me, I said, well, I know that I voted. He said, how can you prove it? Because I said I do write-ins. That's why I like these machines. Write-ins are very easy to do, okay? We said, who did I vote for in the last election? I said, Vladimir Putin of Russia. Why? Because the next day I can go outside the polling place, you have to display the vote. Right there's Putin, one vote. I voted for it. At least I know my vote was counted. This man has no idea that his vote was counted. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't seem like a very good system to me.
Would you want
Never did.
Could you just take a second and explain what the paper verified system means?
Sure. Basically, the paper verified system means that we will have the ability, and the individual will have the ability when they cast their vote or before they cast their vote to actually see their paper ballot that will be in front of them, and they'll verify that who they, basically how they circled in the oval is exactly how they wanted it before it ever gets counted. That is what a paper verified ballot is. That ballot actually will then be retained by us. So we will have it that and there will be some type of audit standard that will be set with these new systems for us to audit, but also that if we ever have a recount, we will have the paper ballot that then can be recounted.
Now,
They still will not know how any individual votes, and that will not change unless the election code changes.
But you say you can see the paper ballot in front of them,
Absolutely. Yes,
and they take a picture of it.
unless the board decides that those types of actions are not allowed at the polling location with the new system. At this point, I can tell you that people do take pictures, like selfie pictures of their machines.
Okay, then that proves my point. If that person's allowed to take a picture of that, then he has the proof, correct? And the subject. Okay, we settled that, right? You can take a picture.
Josh Shapiro had put out a memo during the last election, I recall, and he's, I think, the Attorney General, and said that it is allowed. In the past, it wasn't allowed, but now it is, so.
I know who the Attorney General is, by the way.
Well, somebody else may not know.
Okay, you answered my question. You answered my question.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Michael.